Hello everyone. It's been a while, but I'm here. My name is Vicky, and today I'm creating my dream pair of corduroy trousers. I've been wearing corduroy since I was a baby, oh, very young, as most 90s kids will have done, and I kind of didn't care for throughout my childhood and youthhood, and now I'm coming back to it again, and I would really like to have a nice pair of specifically chocolate corduroy trousers. I bought the fabric. I've cut out the fabric actually, because I feel like the cutting part always takes too long for me to show you anything else, and it's not really that necessary. But basically I cut out the fabric with a pattern that I drafted myself. It was a pain, and I already made another pair of trousers kind of that I filmed, and you will... Did I film it? I think so. If not, then you will probably see it at a later point. Anyways, on that pair I kind of practiced and tested the pattern, and I think it'll be okay. So we're just gonna go with it and see what happens. I have all the pieces in front of me. I need to start with the fly and the pockets, etc. So let me show you. Let's get into it. Let's jump straight in. First things first, this is my corduroy. It is much thinner than I anticipated. It's more of a cord needle, I guess you could call it, I think is the term. It is a little stretchy, not that way necessarily, but that way, has a little bit of stretch, and it is very thin. I did think this was going to be a little thicker, so I'm not disappointed, but you know, we kind of have to deal with that, and I might have to use a bit more interfacing than I thought I would have to. But it is a lovely chocolate, and I really don't know what thread colour I want to use. I think I do want to do a little bit of top stitching on this to kind of fit the vibes of the season. But I have a few options. I think I'm going with black, navy, and then I have a very contrasting pale colour, which is kind of like a sand colour, which I think might also look really nice and actually be more of a contrast, but I don't know if I want that much of a contrast. So I'm gonna try them out on a spare piece of fabric now and see what they look like. I like the colour of the navy, but I think the pale is winning. It's nice and strong. It's quite a thick thread as well. I think it's one of the thicker ones, like almost like a denim thread. But actually it looks really nice on the brown, so I might do that. I don't know if I want to do the black for all the hidden seams, so because that's the most invisible, I think. Also, I really need to do something with the tension because this is way too much. Now that I've decided on the colour of the thread, I can do the kind of first important thing, which is the fly. But to do the fly, I am going to need to interface the pieces that I have. I think they're okay. They would be stable enough, but I want just a little bit more stabilization. And I'm also going to stabilize the pockets, the sides of the pockets, because it just makes sense. So I'm going to cut out some interfacing, iron that on, and then we can get started on the fly. For all the non-decorative seams, I'm just going to use black thread because I decided it works well enough. And I am going to do two things now. I have my fly, which has been, well, my fly guard. I think this is the fly guard. This is the thing that kind of folds on top and protects you from the zipper and has one half of the zipper on it. So I am going to close this at the bottom, right sides together, like this. I'll close that, then I'll turn it inside out, and then you kind of work with it that way. So let me just do that very quickly. It's a nice quick seam. Closed, and then I just twist this inside out to have a lovely clean fly guard. Now I am going to press this. I will stay stitch the fronts. I'm going to stay stitch the curve just to make sure that it doesn't stretch out, or as little as possible. So this kind of front curve. I'll just do that quickly, and then hopefully we can start assembling. So that's stay stitched. While I am here, I am also going to do the darts, because those are also internal seams that might as well be done and finished. So I've marked them in the chalk at the top, and I have notches as well, and then I have a pin at the bottom So I'm just going to put those in very quickly on actually all 4 pieces, meaning 2 fronts, 2 backs, so that I have those out of the way. Morning. For the fly, so I have this piece which is my kind of like fly guard, which I am going to zigzag stitch down this way and cut off the remnants that's interfaced. And then I have the actual fly, which I also need to kind of zigzag stitch around. I don't know whether I should also interface this because it's very floppy and it needs to hold the zipper, and I just feel like that would be a good choice. So I'm going to interface that, and then I'm going to overlock them, and then we can put them on the front pieces. Okay, I'm aligning my zipper to my little notch here that I have for the zipper fly. And I'm just going to align those right sides together. I have this interfaced, I have this underneath interfaced. I'm just going to sew that in a straight stitch, and then that's going to be my little zipper bit. Let's do that. And as I have gone through the whole thing, I realized I have nothing on my bobbin, so let's do that again. I've changed the foot, I've changed the thread color, and look at how nice this top stitch is. How lovely is that? Whee! So excited. I'm going to take my zipper, align it upside down with the bottom here, I think, and I'm aligning it here, but oh, you can't see anything. I'm aligning my zipper with the inner side, but I'm sewing this outer side because this is then going to fold over and sit on the fly like that. So let me just do that now. Wee-hee! Woohoo! Woo-ha! Oh, move friend. Zipper. In. We continue. Wow! Okay, so that's the fly. So we have a fly front. Whee! I really love that thread on this. And then on the inside, it means that the whole fly is like attached, basically. So it's not going anywhere, and it's like this nice little bit that's already steady and solid, and that's that. Let's do the fly cover. Away nice and tidy, so my zipper can happily open. Has a little cover underneath. Wonderful. And cover over the top. Now we take the other half, other top trouser, this one, this one, and I'm gonna find, I have again a notch here, obviously, for where the zipper is meant to start. So I align that notch with where the fly is, and I'm gonna sew it. Oh my goodness. It might be a light material, but it's not light in terms of weight. Fly done, maybe, hopefully, let's see. It's a bit of a wonky thing, but it definitely caught. It's just a little wonky. You see that? It looks okay on camera. It looks good enough as this, and it looks good enough like this, and it's a functional openable zipper. What I'm going to do is connect the inside leg, and then we can put the whole thing together, and it'll all be grand. It's, I guess, as good as it's gonna be, and it'll be on my crotch, so hopefully people won't be looking at it. Let's do the pockets. Okay, now that pockets are in place, and they are fabulous, let me tell you, I'm very excited about them. I don't really have much more left, which is very odd to say. It's kind of come together much faster than I anticipated, which is a good thing, obviously. I now have the back piece. So this is my back trousers that's already connected. And I literally just have to connect this onto the front, and that's basically it. I'm gonna do side seams. I'm gonna leave the middle seam for last, I guess. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. I'm going to connect the side seams now. I might do some tidying up in terms of like closing the allowances, so some zigzag stitches, etc. And then I think it's time for first try on. All of my pins just dropped on the floor. All of them. You see those? Do you see the bits and bobs of shine on the floor? That's all my pins. Okay, first fitting went pretty well. I can't show you, unfortunately, because despite what this looks like, it's actually very dark in here, and because the trousers are so dark by themselves, you can't actually see anything no matter how I set up the light. I need to just finish the inside seam now, so I'm gonna do that. The trousers are all together and nice. They close really nicely. They're a whole thing, which is lovely. So I don't think I need to let them out anywhere. They don't seem tight anywhere, which is great news. If anything, they're definitely too long, and they might be a bit too loose in places, but I think it'll be fine as soon as the waistband is on and as soon as the crotch is on. So I am going to do that. Maybe try it on again just to make sure that I have like all the final bits and pieces in place, and then I just need the waistband and the cuffs, and we're basically done. I will do more top stitching. Yes, I need to do the side seams, but I just wanted to make sure that they're perfect first, so I'm gonna do the inside seam, and then I'll just triple check that nothing is too tight and I don't need to let anything out. Otherwise that's that. Let's do some inside seam sewing. Okay, that's enough. And that, my friends, is the inside seam done. It's another day, another rainy day outside, and I have decided on two things overnight. I will not do the top stitching on the back because I don't know if I want to attract any extra attention to like the bum seam specifically, and it doesn't need it. I can just close the seam and, you know, keep it nice and safe on the inside, so I'm not gonna. I also decided to open the front darts and instead do a pleat, because I don't know how this didn't occur to me earlier, but obviously I was always kind of aiming for a pleat on these trousers, and somehow I didn't realize until now. So I just opened all 4 of the front darts, and I'm just going to kind of pleat this so that it's nice and nice and pleated and cool. I need to close the hems. I need to put the pleat in and put the waistband on, and then we're basically done. So let's get it all finished today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for me. Okay, well, that worked like a dream. My whole seam is now beautifully top stitched all the way down. It took ages, but it's done, and now I have to do the other one. The little fellas are getting attached to the waistband. I just cut it down, it was stressful, but it should be all the same length. I've got the waistband, I'm gonna put the little fellas and then the waistband together, sew it all together, and then we're basically done, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hold all your thumbs for me. I mean, I'm very happy with them. Nice and fluffy and short, which is what I wanted. They're big. I actually will have to take them in, that's why I'm wearing a belt as well. I will have to take them in the waist a little bit. I think I'll have to take the pleats in a tiny bit more maybe, and maybe take the waistband in a little bit more, but but I feel like a character from a Nora Ephron movie, which I've always wanted, so it's very exciting. I love them a lot. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. Overall, absolutely the trousers of my dreams. Thank you all for joining me on this adventure. Like and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you soon. Bye!